Welcome back. This is the Catapult Medtech semi-finals, and now it's time to start pitching. Let's remember what's going to happen. We will have two sequences of pitching this morning before lunch. The first with 4 pitches. We will be running for 5 minutes pitch. Then the jury will have 5 minutes to ask questions. And if there is any overrun, I will have to jump in and ask people to stop. The jury will be making a mark, giving a mark at the end of each pitching session after each pitch has run. So we have one clear message to give to the pitchers, the startups this morning and for all of the day. That is to believe in your pitch and to have a great time. We are going to go now to Switzerland to have and to meet our first startup. And we are going to meet the CEO and co-founder of Adipos, André Babic. So André, good morning, and the floor is yours.
Good morning, Alison. Good morning, everybody. Such a pleasure to be here. My name is André. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Adipos. We image body fat and save lives. This woman has cancer, but she's become really weak and frail because she lost a lot of body weight without wanting it. This is body wasting or cachexia, and it's a killer. 3 million patients die because of it every year. The problem is most patients get a diagnosis when it's too late. We will change this. We've developed ImageBat. It's the first product that can detect body wasting before weight loss. What happens is that caused by cancer or chronic disease, normal white fat becomes brown fat. And brown fat burns calories, which leads to body wasting. And our product makes brown fat visible. It makes it visible with a simple medical scan. And we've made it really easy because these patients have medical scans as a part of their standard medical care. To get an early diagnosis, all they have to do is drink ImageBat before one of their regular scans. For example, a lung cancer patient has this scan every 2 to 3 months. ImageBat is the first product that can detect body wasting early. It's patient-friendly by design. It's a drink, no injections needed, and it's fully scalable because a medical scanner is available in every hospital worldwide. Today, it takes up to a year to get a diagnosis, and most patients are missed. A PET scan can detect brown fat, but it has too many disadvantages to be used for this. On the other hand, ImageBat is a disruptive product that combines early diagnosis, high sensitivity, and low cost. Our product solves an unmet medical need, and doctors would use it for their patients today, whether based in Switzerland, Spain, or the United States. The total addressable market is huge. It's 1.2 billion patients with chronic diseases or cancer worldwide. Our beachhead market is lung cancer with 2 million new cases every year. Accordingly, we've secured comprehensive global patent protection with 4 patent families on the technology and a full freedom to operate with no third-party infringements to commercialize the product. Adipos' core team is tremendous. It combines 80 years of science, business, drug development, and entrepreneurial experience, with several exits and blockbuster drugs developed within the team. We work with world key opinion leaders as our scientific advisors and a top-notch board of directors. This team will execute a focused roadmap leading to approval in Europe and the United States in 2025, followed by an exit. We've hit all development milestones so far and just closed our first closing of pre-Series A round to perform a first-in-human phase 1 clinical trial in 2022. 85% of deals in medical imaging are M&A, and this is our business model, an exit. Adipos has big diagnostic companies and pharma companies as potential exit partners. We have letters of intent and establishing partnership with both company types. Medical imaging exits range around 500 million euros in recent years. Brown fat is a big opportunity, and we're building a portfolio of products for cancer and chronic disease patients with 100 million patient populations. This is Adipos. We image body fat and give patients better and longer lives. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andre. Thank you so much for our opening pitch. Well done. Let's now meet our jury. Good morning to the jury. Are they here? Yes, here we are. Good morning, everybody. Lovely to see you all this morning. Fantastic. So we have 5 minutes to ask questions. Who would like to start? Yes. Okay then, Dr. Arajin.
Hello, my name is Nana Bitaregium. Brilliant presentation. Really excited about your product. The question is, do you have a medical doctor or patient on your board? Thank you.
We have, as scientific advisors, we have 2 medical doctors, which are also world key opinion leaders in the field. So body wasting in lung disease, so lung cancer and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and another medical doctor that is a world key opinion leader in body wasting. We are expanding the scientific advisory board with US key opinion leaders in the field.
Great. It would be great also to have somebody from the patient side, from the patient organization, because this is the, as you mentioned, user-friendly by design product, and would be great to have to validate that as early as possible. Thank you.
Aidan, I think you would like to ask a question. Claudio,
yeah,
and then Simon.
Hi, is there clinical evidence that links brown fat to cancer cachexia, and is that mixed at the minute, or is there clear signals?
The clinical evidence which is present today is very clear. Brown fat is a poor prognostic for cancer patients. This has been published by several groups, namely in the US. It's clear that brown fat in cancer patients is a negative prognostic and predictive biomarker.
Thank you very much. Claudio?
Yeah, it was kind of the same question.
Okay.
Is it cachexia is in effect or is a cause? And the presentation was very good, by the way.
Simon?
So,
excuse me. Andre?
I think that was the question, so let me quickly address that. So cachexia, body wasting, is a comorbidity in cancer and chronic diseases. It needs to be addressed separately to the primary disease.
I guess I have
Thank
2
you.
questions. First is, have you tested the product to make sure that it doesn't interfere with any other outcomes or measurements that are being done by the scanner on the one hand? And I guess the second question to follow up on the product and the output is, what can be done with these patients to really effectively change the trajectory that they're following?
Great question. Thank you. Yes, we've done a multiple of experiments where we showed that our product does not interfere at all with the standard scanning procedure that these patients have. And secondly, yes, we have treatments available, approved this year for cancer patients that directly treat the condition.
Who would like to ask another question? Yes, please, Neil. Your turn.
Excellent to hear that you've done your homework on freedom to operate. That's not something I see on a routine basis, and you understand what freedom to operate means. I had a quick question regarding access to scanners, both in terms of cost in the public health systems and also waiting lists? I mean, obviously these scanners are in use for other conditions and they come with certain costs. If you want to jump the queue, have you modeled that at all in your business plan?
Like I said, this product is an add-on product to the existing scan that these patients already have. So any scan that is scheduled for a patient, we fit the product onto that scan.
Mm-hmm.
That is the business model.
So there isn't a market where they would solely be scanned with your product?
Of course, that's a clear extension of that. It can be a standalone scan. Yes, and CT scanners are so widely available that that's not a problem actually to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
We have time for a quick question with a quick answer. Yes, Claudio.
So I'm a little bit worried about the exit strategy. So you're thinking in an acquisition. This not maybe temptation for creating like a little bit of a bubble because it's not exactly social impact, but trying to sell this to the next one.
What we will do is establish early adopter network of hospitals as we develop the product. We can have first sales that leads to an exit afterwards.
Thank you very much, Andre. Thank you. And thank you to all our jury members for our first panel. Really interesting, very exciting. Let's now move to the Netherlands. We are going to the Netherlands where we meet the CEO and co-founder of the company Arthrosave. Let's now meet Karian Lindenhovius. Karian, good morning and welcome to Catapult. The floor is yours.
Thanks for being here. I am Karianne Lindenhovius, CEO and co-founder of Arthrosave. And this is Maria. Maria has knee osteoarthritis and she has daily persistent pain. She is limited in her daily activities and that will result in a final knee replacement. But because she is relatively young, that means that she will survive the lifetime of the knee replacement, which is a major issue. Because this will result in a second knee replacement, which is expensive and often invalidating. So there is a need to push the first knee replacement forward in time to avoid the second knee replacement. That will look like this, only one knee replacement. And Arthrosave has found a solution for this need. Maria will get the knee reviver. The knee reviver reduces the pain and it results in a joint regeneration process, so Maria can keep longer her own natural knee. And that results in the postponement of the knee replacement for 8 to 10 more years. And so the knee reviver is postponing the first knee replacement and is avoiding the second knee replacement later in life. A damaged knee joint has hardly any cartilage and the bony ends are touching each other. Arthrosave has invented the knee reviver. It is invented by an orthopedic surgeon and it puts the knee joint, the damaged knee joint, on a short distance of 5 millimeters. It is a temporary treatment of only 6 weeks and it is meant for patients under the age of 65 years because they will survive the lifetime of the knee replacement. It is a large and growing market, as osteoarthritis will be the #1 chronic disease in 2040. 1.7 million patients are undergoing knee replacement surgery, of which 900,000 of them do match the knee reviver criteria. And this corresponds with an annual serviceable market of $2 billion. The knee reviver is the first sustainable solution for late-stage osteoarthritis. It is a unique solution as it is a temporary, regenerative, and cost-effective solution while maintaining the original knee joint. So the quality of life increases and the healthcare costs do reduce. And this is the most possible positive outcome of a health technology assessment. There are alternatives in the development, but they are all focusing on the early stage osteoarthritis, and there is no clinical evidence and there are no long-term data available. The knee reviver is CE marked and protected by patents, and our first market approach was very positive. We have sold 200 knee revivers in pre-sales, and now we are focusing on getting it reimbursed. So we have started a clinical trial this year in the UK, and we will start a clinical trial next year in the Netherlands. When going to the market, we first focus on getting the product and the treatment reimbursed in our target countries, and we will create an infrastructure to scale. And secondly, we will expand to further Europe. Reimbursement in the UK by the NHS will followed by a NICE guideline, and that will be our reference to enter the rest of Europe. In parallel, we are preparing the entry to the US market with the FDA approval. We are realizing a Series A investment round of 3.5 million euros. And to get the product reimbursed, to focus on the next generation of the knee reviver, to be able to scale up our product and our company, we will focus on getting initial sales and international traction. Series B will be needed for our commercial expansion in Europe and the US. We foresee an exit in 2026, 2027. We have an excellent team with over 100 years of medical and orthopedic experience. My co-founder is an orthopedic surgeon for 30 years, and we are backed with scientific advisors, KOLs, and we have active partnerships in the field. It is an interesting investment opportunity, and it is a large and growing market, and we are having benefits for the surgeon who can offer a new treatment for his patients. The patient can keep longer his own knee, and we are saving healthcare costs. We are looking for investors and for people that can support in building and scaling our company. Thank you for your attention.
Carrie-Anne, thank you very much indeed. Very clear. Well done. Let's now bring in the jury to start our 5 minutes questions. Who would like to begin? Claudio.
Okay, so I must say I'm not neutral, so wish this is a success because my knee hurts. So good. So I would like to know how complicated is the surgery, and also during this some weeks period, should you stay at hospital, or can you lead a normal life at your place, or what happens?
Yeah, it is quite easy surgery. You go to the hospital for one surgery day. The surgery itself is about 45 minutes maximum. So we have designed a product together with surgeons and with patients to be able to make the surgery as easy as possible. So the surgeon needs to drill the pins into the bone, as you can see behind me, because our knee reviver will be fixed to the bone with bone pins. But that's an easy going, low risk surgery. Then the patient will stay maybe for one night in the hospital, and the system will distract. So we'll put the distance of the 5 millimeters on the knee joint, and then the patient can go home, and he will distract the last few millimeters himself at home. And the treatment for 6 weeks, the patients will stay at home and will come back for 1 or 2 times to the clinic for a checkup. At home, you're a little bit immobilized, or you are immobilized because your leg is stiff because the fixator fixates your knee joint. It creates a small axial displacement of the knee joint because that's necessary for the recovery of the knee joint. But you're very limited in your daily activities. You need to walk with crutches. You can do work if you can do work from home, but it is difficult to go abroad, maybe with a taxi, but you cannot drive a car yourself, for example. So you're a little bit limited.
Who would like to ask a question to follow on? Yes, Simon.
I guess from my side, could you maybe talk about how much utility of the knee joint the patient actually recovers at the end of the day?
Can you repeat it again? How much?
How much utility do they actually recover? I.e., are they able to do short walks, etc.? Is it they're able to start kind of doing normal physical activities?
Yeah, what happens during the treatment is that the metabolism is incentivized. So there is a treatment started, and that will follow the coming 12 months, and then it will be at an optimum. At the end, the patients will have less or no pain, and that is really, really special because people can can go back to normal life. They can do sporting, they can do walking, they can do basketball, they can do, not on a professional level. It's just like normal people do sports, but you can be active and you can do all the things you could not do before. You can do running. Don't try to do a marathon and then think that's a little bit too much, but you can do the marathon. It's great. Sorry, you can do the running. Patients are really, really happy. I shortly talked to a patient who was helped 2 years ago, and she was so happy to do everything that she couldn't do before. The quality of life really increases after this treatment.
Thank you.
Would somebody like to ask a question? Yes, please, Nana.
Thank you so much. Hello, really interesting. I think a little bit niche product, but it's absolutely interesting from medical perspectives as a medical professional. Do you have any preliminary clinical research data to share? I'm really interested to see the comparison between the standalone procedures and surgery and your approach. Thank you.
Yeah, we have quite some data. We have treated 170 patients in clinical trials already. 2 of them were randomized controlled trials. And we have really showed that we can, let's say 75% of the patients do not have a knee replacement after 5 years, and 50% does not have a knee replacement after 10 years. So we have really long follow-up data. And I'm not sure if you can mention it as a niche market. It is a large and growing market. There's many patients are having osteoarthritis. We're focusing on the knee. You can define that as a niche, but 50% of the osteoarthritis patients are knee osteoarthritis patients. So it is a big market, and we hope to translate our technique, the distraction technique, to other joints as well, like the thumb, like the toe. So the ankle is very famous one. We have a lot of evidence on the ankle already, but the biggest market is the knee joint market.
Yeah, there is a different reasons to define the osteoarthritis. So I mean, the cause is different. So that's why the patient group should be separated. Thank you so much, but it's pretty interesting. Thank you.
Great question. Thank you all.
And also yes, thank you very much, and to Carrie-Anne, thank you. Let's now move down to France for our pitch number 3. And we are going to meet the product manager and co-founder of the startup company BFC. Let's welcome Dr. Marie Bertuel. Marie, good morning.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, and the floor is yours for 5 minutes.
Perfect. So hi everyone. At BFC, we make electricity with papers and enzymes. We have reinvented the way we power electronics with a sustainable power source. We saw that there were emerging products for smart and connected products in Medtech, particularly patient monitoring. An example is continuous glucose monitoring, fertility or fertility test, or any diagnostics, but also pharmaceutical packaging, with an estimated 50 billion connected devices in 2020. Now, the problem is those low-power electronics are often powered by lithium coin or button cell batteries, and it's not just lithium. All battery chemistries, an average of 15 billion primary batteries, end up in landfill or are incinerated. And from them, 97% are miniature batteries because they are complex and expensive to recycle. Now, low-power electronics are everywhere, and we can just look at the numbers. Tens to hundreds of units are produced every year. Example use cases include digital testing, injectors, temperature-sensitive products like pharmaceuticals or blood bag monitoring, and also wearable patches. And for all wearable and single-use devices that have been in contact with biological fluids or often with the skins, required to be incinerated. Actually, the World Health Organization estimates that 0.5 kilograms of hazardous waste is produced per day per person every year. Sorry. And often the energy source is a dilemma. It's a barrier. Batteries are a barrier to digitization. If we look at traditional batteries, they offer continuous measurements. However, they represent high environmental impact due to their toxicity or their non-safety. Then if we look at green energy, energy harvesting. They have a low environmental impact. However, they offer non-continuous measurements. So we have to meet in the middle. For this reason, and to address this environmental issue, BFC has created a Bioinspired Technology, which uses glucose and enzymes, which are biofuels, and biocatalyst enzymes to transform those biofuels into electricity. We emerged from decades of pioneering research on implantable technology, and this is why we use biosource materials and biofuels to perform these reactions. So our solution is paper-based, so it can be ultra-thin, lightweight, and flexible, perfect for wearable application, and also to be very discreet for the sake of the patient. We use enzyme to convert glucose and oxygen into electricity. And we activate our device with a fluid. It can be biological fluid like blood, urine, saliva, sweat, but also tap water. And we also patented the blister. Then the business that work with us can also save money on disposal and recycling costs. At the bioanode, we have the oxidation of glucose into gluconolactone, which releases an electron. And at the biocathode, we reduce oxygen into water to save bioproducts, and this offers a stable voltage. Now, our vision for the future is to combine our paper-based power source with the lowest environmental electronic platform with printed passive component on an organic substrate, and also strategic partners like ST Microelectronics to only have one microchip that can control all the electronics. We are in the industrialization phase, trying to move from a robotic sheet-to-sheet to a roll-to-roll production line to produce millions of units per day to respond to our clients. Our business model is a B2B. We are now converting to lithium pricing and trying to move to alkaline pricing with a printed technology. We have 6 patents and 14 ongoing. And we have many exciting opportunities in replacement of existing toxic batteries, but also in innovation. We actually open new doors in logistics and packaging markets by providing a safe energy source for transport. And if we look at IoT healthcare, this market is estimated to be $100 billion by 2027. This is huge. And we already secure clients, particularly for the medical field, but also in logistics that ask for more than 100 million units per year. Our competition is the traditional coin cell, but we also have competition in harvesting. But BFC offers the energy on demand. Sorry, my clicker is not working. Okay. We have a team of doctors and engineers, and I will reply to your questions since it's over.
Are up. We have to respect the
Sorry,
strict
my
timing
clicker.
rules.
Yes, no problem.
Don't worry, we've run over time. Thank you very much, Mary. Well done. Let's now go over to our jury members to let them ask their questions. Jury, good morning, and I have a question now from Danielle.
Hello, Daniel.
Hi, thank you very much for the presentation. Despite some noise in the background, I was able to track it and go ahead. The question is the product manageable, replaceable by the consumer, by the end user, or does it require intervention for medical cases?
So actually, we can go back to our first proof of concept, which was replacing 2 batteries in digital pregnancy and ovulation tests. So we replaced those batteries by the fact that our paper-based energy source is easy to form the shape and the size and easy to insert. And really any customer could do it. So it could be also a B2C, or it could be also something easy for nurses, for example, to replace. We can make it easy for that reason, if that replaces your question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Nana, would you like to ask your question?
Yeah, thank you so much. The same situation with the noise and background, but pretty nice. Really love it. So it's a combination of 2 different markets. And so my question is that do you manufacture by yourself batteries, so you outsource them, and how does the cost of manufacturing? Thank you so much.
Thank you for your question. So yes, we want to produce in Grenoble, France. We are building now the production line, the roll-to-roll, in a big building of 600 meters squared. So that's our goal, to produce ourselves, because we know the technology, and we know we need our experts to do it from the ground up. And then the price that we have at the moment, if we look at the VFC I have on the platform here, it's about less than 50 cents, and we are aiming for 10 cents by printing our technology. So we think our solution, especially in the medical and healthcare field, is a great solution, because most of the products are lasting for a day or a few weeks. And this power source, which is paper-based, can also be incinerated, which offers an alternative to reduce environmental impact.
Thank you so much. Who would like to ask a new question?
Well, I might jump in then. Thanks very much for that presentation. I'm really curious to know, with the first applications that you cited, one of the big kind of themes that is in this is the toxicity of the products, i.e. the hazardous waste, etc. With your first applications, was the battery, or should I say the power source, the only component that was considered hazardous? So i.e. you've rendered it a non-hazardous material, or was there still an issue there?
I'm not sure I understand the question. So you're
basically,
talking to me just about...
Did you? Yeah, so in the applications you're imagining, have you rendered the product, dare I say, when it's incinerated, non-hazardous, basically, because you've changed out the power supply, or are there other components that maintain the hazardous nature of it in terms of the byproducts?
Yeah, most of the time the feedback of our clients, our actual clients, is that the batteries either needs to be incinerated, either needs to be collected and come back to our customer, which is the business that deliver the products to medical, like hospitals, for example. So the problem comes often from the batteries, because they contain toxic materials that are difficult to dispose of and that are non-safe. But if we look at the overall product, I don't have that response yet, because it depends on the product, obviously. It depends on the materials used on the product. But we know we can offer the paper-based solution, which has a very, very low environmental impact. We actually proven the compostability and the biodegradability, and also the non-phytotoxicity. And soon we will look at the toxicity within the body. I hope that responds to your questions.
Thank you very much. I'm going to jump in to let Neil and then Aidan ask their questions. We have 30 seconds. Mute, Neil. We cannot hear you.
For use outside patients, what's the temperature range that the enzymes will tolerate?
So for the moment, we are from 60 to 5 degrees, and we are looking at extremophile enzymes that can go below 5 degrees and above. And we are on it right now. Thank you all for your questions. Sorry, there's no more.
All right. Aidan, I'm sorry. We've run out of time for the questions for Marie. Thank you very much indeed, everybody. Let's now move to pitch number 4. And to do that, we are going to go to Romania. Romania, where we are going to meet the CEO and co-founder, Cornel Amaral, of the startup company .Lumen. Good morning, Cornel. Very good to see you. You now have 5 minutes.
Good morning.
The floor is yours. Have a great time.
Thank you. Thank you. At Lumen, we build glasses that empower the blind. I was born in a family where both of my parents have locomotive disabilities. Growing up, I realized how little assistive technology is currently doing and how much it could possibly do. And when it comes to blindness, you have 40 million people blind now, increasing to over 100 million by 2050. And there are some solutions for them. But when it comes to their mobility, you have the same 2 solutions for over 1,000 years, the guide dog and the white cane. Now, the guide dog is unanimously seen as a great mobility solution, but to train one, it can reach up to $60,000, and to take care of one is an immensely big challenge for the blind. Because of this, you only have 28,000 guide dogs to 40 million blind people. We at Lumen created this device that replicates the main functionality of a guide dog without the drawbacks. So for example, if you have a guide dog, you can ask it to take you to an empty seat or take you back home if they really know the route. And they will do so by pulling your hand. You can ask the Lumen system the same thing, but rather than pulling your hand, it uses our proprietary feedback technology and it pulls your head. It just feels like something is pulling your head, avoiding you from obstacles, keeping you on the sidewalk, guiding you indoors. And this is enabled by the latest in autonomous driving, robotics, and artificial intelligence technologies. Now, our testers are saying great things about what we do. I expected something like this to be possible, but not during our lifetime. And we got similar messages from over 200 blind testers. We're working with over 600 blind individuals to better understand their challenges. And the feedback technology I was talking about, it takes on average 5 minutes for a blind person to be guided by the system well enough so they can pass through an open door without touching it. The blind face several challenges, and there are certain solutions. For example, reading is a challenge for the blind. Devices such as Orcam or certain apps do it. We do it as well. But then when it comes to understanding objects around you, you don't really have a good enough solution. We do it incredibly intuitively. But the advanced things is about guidance, actually avoiding obstacles and understanding how you can go around them. Unfortunately, the guide dog is the only solution, and now us. But lastly, the most advanced task is to go to a new place where you've never been before. Guide dog can't do this without using another system, and we can for the first time, and doing it on a price which is on par with other assistive technologies. Now, the market's kind of interesting. Europe and the US are the largest markets in terms of prevalence, in terms of education, employment, insurance, and the Gulf area is the second most interesting area. In terms of our business model, we plan to sell it for 5,000 euros, fully eligible for subsidiaries. We are a B2B2C company selling to our partner network. Partner network is made out of assistive technology dealerships and blind associations. We identified over 540 potential partners. We are planning by 2025 to sell over 100,000 units to over 200 million in revenue, and we already have a free production tier plan for the following years. We got an immense level of recognition, working with some of the best companies, and in terms of awards, just 1 month ago, we won the equivalent of the Nobel Prize in Industrial Design, the Red Dot Luminary Award. Now, in just 1.5 years, we grew to a team of almost 40 people. Myself, I'm coming from automotive field. My co-founder, Professor Dr. Gabriel, has founded a research group which built everything from millions of consumer appliances up to electronics for space. Mihai, our chairman, has founded some of the largest startups in the history of Romania, and we have an immensely talented team, doctors in psychology, scientists, engineers, business developers, absolutely amazing, amazing bunch of people I'm working here with. Now, we are doing a 4 million equity round. This is primarily to increase our R&D and business development efforts. We are planning to increase to over 80 people starting in January and February, and we are planning a 100-unit mass testing with the blind. So come join us in our mission of empowering the blind. Thank you.
Thank you, Cornel. Thank you very much indeed. Did you enjoy your pitch?
Yes.
Absolutely. Let's move over to our panel. And I know that Nana is already asking, and Claudio, questions are coming. Nana.
Thank you so much. Amazing concept. So I'm just a really brief tip. Japanese market is pretty much ready for those kind of products. My question would be why why your choice was for the business model in B2C, B2B. I see this clear opportunity for direct-to-consumer market, and whether it's already aligned with that in terms of regulations. Thank you.
Certainly. We are looking at international partner network because we need boots on the ground in multiple areas. Blind associations and assistive technology dealerships, they know how to do marketing for the blind, selling for the blind, and training for the blind. We know as well, but at an international level, to scale that much would be difficult. As long as these organizations already know how to do it, we want to use their knowledge as well, and they will get a sales fee out of selling the product.
Thank you, Claudio. I go to you.
Okay, so very interesting. So I have curiosities on the device. So I would like to know about weight. I think I read somewhere it's about 1 kilo, so maybe a little bit heavy, and also autonomy. So maybe you need to plug this every, I don't know. And also if you need something additional, or is just this this thing that you put in your head, or you need something else on top?
Sure. So the headset weighs 500 grams. That's the weight of the headset. Currently, we have another small hipset unit, we call it. You wear it by your belt. That will actually be removed by time we enter the market. And the plan is to have a well-balanced under 1 kilogram device on your head. Autonomy, full working day, rechargeable by USB-C, and batteries are swappable.
Thank you very much, Aidan, and then Danielle. I believe,
I'm
Aidan,
just
do you have a
interested in
question?
how well it works and how you tested it. Did you do a clinical trial, and what did you measure to measure effectiveness?
Definitely. So we've done over 20,000 tests when it comes from navigation, when it comes to understanding of the world, when it comes to how well it can guide around certain obstacles and certain conditions. A clinical trial is sort of what we did. It's an assistive device, so it technically doesn't really go to the medical requirements, but partially hits them. So we tested everything from human-machine interface up to full navigation in outdoor environments. All of those were tested and are continuously being tested on all the clear features it does, both from a fundamental level and up to piloting the devices without us being present. But now we want to do 100-unit international piloting without us being present with the blind people while they test it.
Thank you. Over to Danielle and then Veronique.
Hi, yeah, thank you for the excellent pitch. Can you expand on the bill of materials, how much it costs to build? I notice your expected price is quite high. Are you actually counting on having refunds from the insurance in order to make a market for it, or can you lower the price and make it on everybody, or not everybody, but the blind, the impaired people or the partially blind?
Sure. So manufacturing price on very small quantities, it's just under 2,000 euros. In large quantities, over 5,000, 10,000 units, it goes to 1,200 euros, even less with larger quantities. We are looking for reimbursements from assistive technology vouchers. For example, Germany and Belgium, you can reach even 15,000 euros. In Romania, you have a 50 million euro fund for that, up to 5,000 euros per devices. In the US, it depends by state. There are state funds, federal funds, government funds, and veteran funds, very interestingly. We targeted that price based on the availability of funds, but we can lower the price, definitely.
Thank you. Veronique, over to you.
Hi, thanks for the pitch. I was wondering, can you tell me a little bit more on your patent protection background, or is it correct that actually the best protection will be just to be very quick in the market? And
we already have one patent pending, but it's a huge patent, 92 pages, and we're currently drafting 4 more patents. We're working with the best IP lawyer company in Romania. Personally, I have wrote over 30 patents with them. In terms of other forms of protection, yes, we want to be the first on the market. In terms of advanced mobility devices, unfortunately for the blind, there are not many options right now, except the white cane and the guide dog. But we will continue a very strong IP-based protection for drafting now, and more will come soon.
okay, thanks.
Okay, a quick question from anybody else? Very quick.
I guess just one quick on my side. Could you mention anything about regulatory and liability, please?
Sure. Liability,
very quick
we
answer.
are coming from automotive. We're coming from automotive. We have dealt with this before, regulatory. And liability is also, we work with some of the best lawyer companies, and we found solutions.
Thanks very much, Cornel. I'm sorry, but time's up. We have already got to the end of our first pitch sequence. So let's remember who we have met so far this morning. We started in Switzerland with Adipos. Adipos has developed a game-changing product able to detect body wasting before irreversible weight loss and when treatments are still effective. We then went to the Netherlands with Arthrosave. Arthrosave offers a joint preserving surgical treatment for relatively young patients with knee osteoarthritis to postpone the knee replacement for 8 or 10 years or more. After that, we went to France to meet BFC. BFC make electricity with papers and enzymes, and their paper biofuel cells provide an eco-friendly, sustainable energy solution for disposable medical devices. And to conclude the first session this morning, we went to Romania, where Lumen empowers the blind, building glasses and headsets that mimic the same functions as a guide dog without the drawbacks. Now, we are going to take a short break. We will be meeting again at 11:40 Central European Time for our second pitch session. So stay with us and see you after the break.